Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson you are going to cover the auto animation. This is a very important part of Adobe XD and it's a very exciting one. You can find this project file in the resource folder. So when you press on the send, it will go to this artboard. The first thing we are going to do is to go to the prototype mode. I will click on this one. As you can see, I already created one. I will remove this one and we are going to create a new one. Click on it, drag and connect it to this artboard. Let me move this other artboard a bit away from the first one just to make it more clean. Okay, now click on the connection and come over here. You are going to use auto animation or auto animate and we will keep everything else the same. If we play it now, nothing pretty much happens. It is just a fade from one artboard to another one. We want to change that and make some animation. So I'll go to the design. One thing, anything that you want to animate between these two artboards should be available in both artboards. So for example, if you want to animate this search bar, first I will group everything about this search bar. I will select all of the thing and group them together. And the next thing, you need to rename it. Go to the layers, over here, go to the layer and rename your group. I'll rename it search bar. Don't forget this part. Anything that you want to animate between the two artboards should be available in both artboards. The first thing, you're going to group them and then you're going to rename the group. And the last thing is to copy this one and paste it in the other artboard. So it should be available in both artboards under the same name. Now we have the search bar in the first artboard as well. We want to animate it in the second artboard. So I will move this down. We want it to come from below and then turn out the opacity. So right now, if we play it, go to the prototype mode and play it. If you click on the send, we have this little animation. Okay, let me make an action for this one as well, just to make things easier for us. So when we click on this arrow, it will go to the previous artboard, just like this. So we have this little animation. Basically, the idea of auto animate is like this. Now anything else that you want to animate should be grouped and then should be available in the both artboards under the same name. So I'm going to group these together. You know, you have to press on the shift to select more than one thing in your artboard. Okay, we have this now. The last thing, I'm going to select each of them and rename them in the layer panel. I will select this one, go to the layers, this is the group, right click, rename, and I will name this Lana. This one will be Megan. And this one will be Harry. Okay, now I will select all of them, copy, Ctrl C, and then go to the other artboard. Click on the name to make sure that you select it and paste it over here. Now we want these to come from the below again. Put them in the below and bring down the opacity, just like this. Now if we play it, as you can see, they are coming from the below. It's a very nice animation. Okay, now we are going to animate more stuff in this screen. We have transaction and statistic. We are going to animate these as well. These two are already grouped together. We are just going to change their names actually. As you can see, it's a bit hard to select it because we have search bar behind it. We previously pasted over here. Just to make things easier, try not to put things on top of each other when you're copying and pasting items between two artboards, and also try to group them before you start doing the auto animate. In this case, I already grouped this one. I will just rename it in the layer panel. I will name this one transaction. And then the statistic, you are just going to select it. This is easier because nothing is behind it. Just select it easily. Okay, we have this statistic, and then I will go ahead and select these all. I will select everything about send, group them together, and I will rename it to send. And then with the pay and bills, we are going to do the same thing. Group them and rename them. So you are doing this because you are going to copy these and paste it in the other artboard, because you want to animate these items between two artboards, or between both artboards that we have. Okay, so now we want these buttons, send, pay and bills, to come from the top area. I will copy them, click on this artboard, paste them over here, and we will move it up. Move them up like this, and then bring down the opacity for all of them. And for these as well, I'm going to select them. Make sure that you select them in the layer panel. It will be easier for you because there are other items behind, especially transaction. It will not be easy for you to select it. So I'm going to select it from the layer panel, and then I'll copy them, Control C, and then over here, Control V. Now we want them to come from top as well, and bring down the opacity. Now if we play it, we will have something like this. As you can see, send, pay and bills and statistic and transaction go up, and everything else come from the bottom. It's a very nice animation, and you can do a lot of crazy animation with this auto animate things. It's a very nice thing, and there's a lot of possibilities with it. Okay, now we are done with this. We are going to animate the top area, which is the cards and also the buttons that we have. So we are going to copy these cards and paste it in the other artboard. We are going to animate this icon and also the my card text as well. But before I do that, I need to rename these cards. I will just select them and right click and rename them, because both of them has the same name. We need to give them different names. So it will be card 1 and card 2. I will select them with the text and this icon. Control C, click on this artboard, Control V. So you want them to come from the right side. I will move them to the right side like this. Okay, and then you are going to bring down the opacity. And the next thing you are going to do is to group these together, to your account and to your bank account. I'm going to select the text with the icon and the background, and you are going to group them. We want them to animate as well. So group them together and rename it. You will rename this to your own account or your own account. And then the other one, we are going to group it just like the other one. Rename it, and we will make this one your bank account. And now we are going to select them, both of them, with the send money, copy and paste it. Actually, I'm not going to bring these icons. Let's send only, or let's take only these two buttons with the send money. I'll paste it in this artboard, and we will move it to the left side like this, bring down the opacity. Okay, now if we play it, we have something like this. It's very nice. Okay, now we will go and animate the last thing, which will be the menu bar, the one that we have in the bottom, which is this one. The first thing, like everything else, we need to group everything together. This one is a bit hard because we have too many things behind it. Okay, we have this scan. I will group it, and then I'll rename it scan. And then I'm going to select these icons with the background. As you can see, there is another thing behind this home icon. That's why I'm not able to select it. I will go to the layer panel and select it over here. So this is the home. I will just press on the shift and select with the background and with the scan. This is the background. I'll rename it to the background menu. I will select this one. Then we have, press on the command actually, or control, and select these together. And the last thing we have, scan. Okay. Now copy them and go to the other artboard and paste them over here. So for this one, I will bring this down. We want to come from the bottom. and we will bring down the opacity to 0. And now if we play it, let's go to the prototype, play it over here, and now we have this nice menu slide up and down. Okay, one thing that I just noticed now, the search bar is not animating, it's just coming from opacity. It seems like we have deleted accidentally without knowing it. So I will go ahead and animate this again. The first thing we are going to do is to copy and paste it in the first artboard, because the search bar is only available in the second artboard. I will close this one, and now I will go to the layer panel. I will just check what happened to the search bar in the first artboard. As you can see, it's not available. I will just click on the first artboard over here just to see the layers that we have. As you can see, there is no search bar here. We have removed it accidentally. I will copy this one and paste it in the first one, and we will move it down to give it the same animation that we had and make the opacity 0. Now if you play it, it will slide up with everything else. But what if you want to give it another animation? Like the auto animation is not all about sliding up and down. We can give it a scale animation. I will just move this up, or actually let's just Ctrl Z, and now we will give it a scale animation instead of sliding up. Scale it down, bring down the opacity, and now if we play it, we have this nice scaling up and down animation of the search bar. So basically, what is auto animate? Anything or any item that you want to animate between two artboards, that item should be available in both artboards and under the same name. And then auto animate will animate the difference between them. For example, one item in the first artboard is small and in the second artboard is big. Auto animate will animate the difference between them. For example, it will go from small to big with a nice animation. So basically, this is the idea behind the auto animate. Now it's time for you to go ahead and practice with this file. I will wait for your results. I want to know what you're coming up with this auto animate thing. I will see you in the next lesson. Bye bye.